Former Lugari MP died in a simple accident. Friends say Jirongo had over time expressed fears for his safety. Now they're demanding answers about what really happened on the road in a country where high-profile deaths in road crashes often end in inconclusive investigations. They insist this case cannot be brushed aside as quote-unquote routine, and this is well fleshed out on page 4 of the Standard today. You can see we have George Haniri there. This is former Vihiga senator saying, I asked why he was still out having fun, yet him, that is Kisia, and I had an important meeting the next day. He told me that he had finished and was just about to go home. There was no talk of him going to Naivasha. And then we have Philip Kisia, him saying he was a man of people, of the people, I should say, an international businessman. Lately, he had gotten into some very good business dealing in minerals from DRC and other countries. He was a threat to some people. So the problem questions are here. How did Jirongo end up driving towards Nairobi from Nakuru? Yet he had been in Nairobi till 11 p.m. Friday night and had no plans for leaving the city. Okay. Then we have the next question. Why would he have called his caretaker in Gigiri at 10 p.m. informing him he will be home in a few minutes, yet he was away from the city? Why would a head-on collision leave little damage to the body as seen at the scene by his friend George Haniri? And why would a driver whose bus had crushed a fellow human being remain calm as he narrated details of the accident?
Yes, first of all, I start with expressing my heartfelt condolences for the passing of Jirongo. He was an eminent Kenyan and a person whose name is part of our Kenyan political history, for better or for worse. I remember I must have had his name around 1991. We were just preparing to go to the university.
Yes.
And the time when there was these elections, we participated. I voted first in the 1992 elections. I believe Jirongo was around 11 years older than I. And his name featured a lot. There was a lot of mass bribery, a lot of violence associated with the Youth for KANU 92. And the people associated with Youth for KANU 92 would subsequently rise to prominence. And in this regard, we remember our president was a junior member of Youth for KANU 92, not one of the prominent honchos in that movement. And therefore, in many ways, what started in 1992 and Jirongo is dying when one of his junior boys, as he used to say, my errand boy, is now president of Kenya. So it's the irony of it all. But Jirongo is a man who will die with, he has a complicated history, from the fact that big-time corruption is associated with his name, with the fact that the money, bribery, politics is also associated with his name. And of course, he was a leader amongst the Luya, respected. When you hear many people close to him, they describe him as a good man. He was a polygamist and an apologetic one. And he advocated for unity. There was somebody I was shown in the morning by my wife on Facebook who was saying that when there was tribal clashes, I believe 92, 97, against, for example, somebody called Mwaura, who was a shopkeeper in Lugari, he defended him and said, without this man, I could not have been educated. We cannot just throw people and ban their shops. So he had a human aspect to him. And when you hear very many stories that he would tell, and I've had people who knows him firsthand saying that human aspect of him. And therefore, for better or for worse, he comes out as a complicated man in one way or the other. He was a mobilizer and a man when I've had a lot of his interviews who appear to be very charismatic and what have you. Now, turning to the last bit of your question about what could have happened. at this particular stage, all the facts are not in. But there are people like Senator Kaniri has expressed doubts about the circumstances of his death. We have seen the lorry, we've seen the car, the story about the petrol stations. All these facts have come out.
The bus,
yes. And of course, the nature of his injuries. There can be only three things that I can say as we wait for the post-mortem results. Number one is, from the facts that are available, it appears highly unlikely that Jirongo could have moved to Naivasha on his own volition, or to the totality of the facts when you consider them. Number two is, at the scene of the accident, I know the Karai area, I come from Nakuru County. The normal scenes of Kenyan accidents, even when an accident happens late at night, you see passengers, you see neighbors, almost everybody milling around. Those scenes, if they are there, I have not seen them.
But this was actually, as is being reported, 3 a.m. at night. So
precisely, but it is any time in Kenya when accidents happen, that's the first thing you see. And when it's a prominent Kenyans, what you see feeling now, the social media, are now independent people now coming and saying, the way this has happened, there is only one narrative, and this appears to be by the driver. Funny as it is. Now, number three. Of course, we are waiting for the post-mortem result.
Yeah, but
the third issue that is
driver is ferrying 65 people in his bus. So all those are witnesses as well.
Yes, but I've not seen them talking.
Yeah, none of them has actually been.
Had the driver.
It's only the driver.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. Is unusual in the normal course of things. But the third issue is that as a lawyer, of course, I've been involved in several accident cases. And therefore, I'm familiar to saying, without them being an expert about collisions, but you can see them. I remember some time back, this must have been in early 2000 or something, one of the sons of the late Tom Mboya, he used to have a motorcycle.
Peter
Mboya, he was involved in an accident somewhere in Kikuyu. I defended the old man, and you could see the vehicle and the motorcycle, the nature of the impact that was there. Well, you remember now, this is just a motorcycle, and this is a car. When you see the nature of the impact that both vehicles would suffer, is usually significant and obvious that there was a massive, serious accident. Now, when you look at this particular bus, as it was, you do not get an obvious impression that this bus, I don't know whether you've seen the bus, the photo of it is going around on social media. You don't get the obvious feeling that this bus has just been involved in a serious accident that caused this kind of harm to the Mercedes. So, but that is now for the investigators to tell. So on a scale of 1 to 10, is it not an accident? I would give 7. That to me doesn't look like a legitimate accident. Finally, it's something important that we need to mention. There's these things called inflation. After 1992 elections, because of the impact of the money, he tried to mention something like that, but he says that he was young, so he doesn't remember well. I think I need to mention that because I was there. There was a serious economic hardship and serious inflation. In 1993-94, it started to disappear around 1995. I remember around 1993, when I went from the university after first year, going home, my mother asking me, what is happening? We've never experienced this kind of thing. So I tried to explain to her the inflation thing. And what is a simple one? So what is this inflation? An old woman would ask. I said it is when there is more money chasing few goods. So my mother says, then who has the money? I neither have the money nor the goods. And that now would introduce me to all these things of economy. And of course, to demonstrate the terrible effects that inflation can have on normal households. Because for me, whenever the subject inflation is mentioned, I still remember my mother asking, so who has the money? Because I didn't have all of this. So for me, Jirongo, therefore, I would always remember him that way. And of course, coming to 2027, all the signs are that it would be a situation of YK92 writ large. There is definitely going to be more massive bribery than we ever saw in 1992. Everything points to that direction.
Yes, and interesting that still we're talking about also the campaign finance bill, the amendment bill that is not really shaken into place until now, that will be able to cure this, what we're talking about. We hope that there will never be another inflation because of flash of money that will be infiltrating, you know, the political dynamics and the lands at the end of the day for people maybe to retain their power as well. Right, I had to welcome to you, Joshua Nyamori. You slept through the alarm today. I've been eagerly waiting for you, yes? So I was just telling Meshach and Kibe here, there's no excuse for him because there's no traffic, yeah? But
the roads are slippery.
And you know, in Kenya, when it rains, they normally say the roads also contracts. So there's bound to be a bit of traffic as well. But again, we said, it is International Day. So maybe today is just International Tea Day, should say. So maybe today is just sitting back and sipping back his a tea, just comfortable and enjoying it. Good to see you, though. Good morning.
Good morning, Dibal. I apologize for coming late.